time. I've been waiting all my life for someone, something, anything to break the walls down. Time to move now. I can never stand alone among your sea of energy. Like a puzzle we unite, sharing space and time. We intertwine our lives. I'm tangled up in you. What we seek, then we shall find. So radiate my mind to understand that I am tangled up in truth, in truth, in truth, in truth. Ignite like a fire spreads its light, expressing in a flaming fury. Light your dreams now, burn your fears down. We can never stand as one among imagined enemies. Like a puzzle we unite, sharing space and time. We intertwine our lives. I'm tangled up in you. What we see.
This was before the service starts, I wanted to show you this video from MLK Day that the Register, the Napa Valley Register, did for us.
What do you hope comes out of the day?
Well, I hope people pause and remember to listen to each other, to be kind to each other, to understand on a deeper level that we're all human and we all come from different places. And for the children and the youth that are here, we have lots of teens are here, that they see a different way of relating to each other, that instead of focusing on how someone's different, how we're alike and how we can embrace that diversity.
And what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to give it to my mom.
And what is it?
It is a upcycled Mr. Bubbles bubble bath tin.
And you put a succulent in it?
I did, yes.
So first of all, we'd like to thank everyone for being here and helping us. Well, Napa RScP, basically, we're a local government agency. We help other community, or help our community care for the land, water, soil, wildlife, and air of Napa County.
So the main reason why we're here today is because over the past 200 years in Napa County, we went down from 36,000 acres of oak trees to only 115 acres today. And oak trees have many ecosystem services that help improve our mental health, and they also help fight climate change by taking out carbon from the atmosphere and storing it in their branches and soil. So again, we want to thank you guys for coming out today and helping us reach our goal of re-oaking Napa County. And
Good morning, everybody. So good to see everybody this morning. It's a happy day here at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, the senior minister here, and so excited. This was the video you were just watching was part of the MLK Day we did on Monday, and there were projects all over the valley, and we had the base camp here where a lot of children were doing activities. And if you, on the email I sent out this morning, if you're on our email list, it had some links there for different events and different recordings of different kinds that you can go on there and look, and I'll post on our website later. So just an exciting day and the celebration of community, not only this community, but the bigger Napa Valley community. So welcome to everybody. If this happens to be your first time, a special welcome to you either online or here in person. We'd like to begin our service with a little music, so here's Astra Fox opening this up.
Good morning, everyone. All right, this one is for audience participation, so I hope you'll join me in opening to receiving all that life has to offer and whatever truths we will receive during this service. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive more good. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive more good. How about more truth? I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive more good. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive more good.
Beautiful, Astra. Thank you so much, Astra. And I just want to welcome all here, but I also want to just, we don't always take the time to thank our production team. We have Sean Boyd, Shauna Marshall, Jay Brooks back there. Let's give them a round of applause. It not only creates sound in this room, but also broadcast out to the world. We've had a growing number of people who are joining us online, so welcome to all of you. And if you want to put where you're from, we always like to hear where we're broadcasting out. We would love to hear from you. And Shauna's the production person there. She'll record that. We also want to welcome our practitioners here. Martha Martinez will open us up in prayer in a little bit, and we always appreciate what we call the healing arm of our center to hold us in prayer during the service. So thank you for being here, Martha. We'd like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement. If you'll look up on the screen and read with me, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. Glorious affirmation for this morning, and really on a daily basis, it's good to affirm that you are being intentional and loving and seeing God in all people and all faiths. So thank you for being a part of that. A couple things coming up. First of all, I mentioned at the Martin Luther King Day that happened on Monday. We had many different activities across the county, and it was just a beautiful day to celebrate our community in so many ways. So thank you for supporting that. I know many of you volunteered for that in one way or another. Could you raise your hand if you helped out in any way with the activities? Just give them a round of applause. Thank you for being a part of that. And then also I let you know upcoming events next Sunday, right after the service, we're going to have our annual community meeting. What that means is we'll end the service, go get coffee and snacks, and bring them back in, because we want to start it right away and get going right away on it, so we can so that you can not be here all day. But we have some important things. We have a financial update about 2022. We want to present the 23 budget, but we also want to let you know about some exciting things about our vision and about what's unfolding with the center in this community. And we also would love to get your feedback, ideas that you want to be a part of, that you can find ways to open up, find ways to serve and to give us ideas where you want the center to go in terms of community input and community outreach. So thank you for being a part of that. And then the following Sunday after that, February 5th, is a new member class. If you're not yet a member and you want to know more information about becoming a member, it's not a commitment to be a member. If you come to the meeting just to introduce you to some of our ideas and be a part of that, and mainly to get to know more about this community and about overall about our denomination, the Centers for Spiritual Living. So that's right after the service on the February 5th. And then also an exciting concert we're going to have coming up February 10th. Narayan and Janet are having their own concert, and their music, as you remember, is all about love. So we're going to have a concert, and I thought a Friday night concert might be kind of fun because we don't do much evening activities like this. This is the Friday before Valentine's Day, so if you have someone to bring, a friend or a partner, you can bring that. Now, we need a certain number of pre-sale tickets to have it, so we are doing the sales tickets ahead of time. And the link is sent out on email this morning. It's on our website. There's a QR code. And they're $20 for pre-sale tickets, 2 for $35 if you have somebody coming with you. $30 at the door, so that's a significant difference. And the reason why we're doing that is because we really need a certain number of tickets to make it worth their while to be there. But this benefits music here at Napa Valley, not only musicians, but also a percentage goes to our music program to help support the music program here, which is just fantastic. Astra is our music coordinator, and she's doing a great job of bringing in new musicians and new people. We have some exciting people coming in February and March. So let's give her a round of applause for all that she's been doing. And also, this is a partner of ours, if you want to call that. A fellow minister, Reverend Abigail Shire, leads these Sister Spirit retreats. This one is up in Washington, which is really just a short plane ride from here. And it's really an exciting time for women to get together, a transformation, spiritually focused fun, and having the opportunity to be supported by other women in a deep and enriching setting. Beautiful outside of Seattle and a beautiful retreat center there. And there's an emphasis, it's not only growth, but there's also a retreat aspect to it. So all that information is on our website, or you can just go to sisterspiritretreat.org. Michelle Lang is involved in it. I think, Monica, you're signed up for it this year, I heard.
I went last year too, and Ricky Byers is coming.
And Ricky Byers, if you don't know Ricky Byers, she's a phenomenal musician, one of the early New Thought musicians that sang at the Agape Center in LA. And so it's really a great retreat. So please, women, please consider that retreat. It should be wonderful. End of March there. And then we have a traveling peace pole. If you're interested in that coming to your house, you can sign up on our website. And please know that we're available for prayers. I think it's part of our mission in life to hold people in prayer that are seeking healing or seeking some sort of revelation. And for me, the newspaper and the news becomes my prayer list. And this morning, it was difficult to read about another mass shooting, to hear about it. I don't know, maybe not everybody checks the news before they come to church on Sunday. Probably not a great idea, but it's an awareness of the shooting that happened in Los Angeles area of apparently a Lunar New Year celebration. We don't know at this time if it's a race crime or not, but it's one that is sad when somebody just can't celebrate an event, a holiday, without them being threatened. So we hold them. Like I said, it's a part of our mission in life is to hold peace for those who are struggling to understand. And we know that there may never, the why question may not ever be answered, but we can know that Spirit is with them and with and with all people, including the shooter, who I don't know if they found him or not. Doesn't matter right now, but I'm just saying we know that all is with God. So that's part of our, and we also here closer to our community, we had a couple members pass away recently. Tom Prescott is Peggy Prescott's husband, and he just passed away 2 weeks ago, and I went to the service, and in a larger church, we just didn't have room in this church because he was a long-time Napa resident and had so many friends in education, and Peggy is a long-time member here, so we hold her in our hearts at this time as his passing. They were married for 57 years. Leaves, and he's survived by his son Tony and many friends and cousins and nephews and nieces. So, and also, if you knew Barbara Kreider, she hasn't been as active in our community. She's been in assisted living, and she was Ann Davis's mother, if you remember Ann Davis here, and she also passed, and talked to her son Andrew, who survives by her. So these are that we hold in prayer in this time as we go into this sacred time, as we open up with music.
Won't you sing with me? I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. That is beautiful. And with the same peace in our mind, let's recognize that God is good. And good is here right now in this present moment. I recognize that it is only one thing, one presence, a life that is expressed in me, and that is good. And right now, I know that I only have this secret moment to honor what it is, and allowing all thoughts and concern to become freshness and united, allowing that presence of good as inner relationship. Now, as we prepare our minds for our beautiful service, I invite you to relax in this secret space of time. If you like to close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath, and let's focus on that presence of the divine being. I invite you to become aware of this day, which is a unique gift from good. Be aware that God is present here in every moment in our life, and this creative force and energy of rooting and rebooting, and that is continually doing something and is always creating. And so it is. And thank you for being here. This is wonderful. And this month, I believe we are celebrating how grateful I am in this life. And that is like singing with gratitude. By being here is how I feel. And this is, sometimes singing is a great way to connect with the spirit and bring joy to the world. I was, this morning got up and was singing with my granddaughter and dancing and all that, and it makes me feel wonderful. And you know, sometimes fighting the root cause sometimes leads to emotional healing. And it can also bring me back to reality, and this is it. I'm here with you, and it makes me feel very, very good. And this moment, being with you is just that, beautiful. So once I decide that I was worthy of a beautiful life and found the courage to go after it, good things start happening in my life. Now I have real good relationship with my kids, and everywhere I go, I feel blessed. So I'm so grateful because of that, and it make a difference. And I made different decisions, and I stood by them. That is so clear, and Science of Mind is a good way for me to live. And I got more goodness in my life than I did it again and again, and I do it again and again, coming in here. And even though it's like an hour for me to be here, I love being here. And planting the seed of worthiness in my life and tending it with new choices, you know, and the universe brought about goodness that is being reflected in my newfound self-worth. And is where I am. By remembering our divine essence, we take our rightful place and taking personal responsibilities, that it makes me happy. Now, today, if I'm in a place that I am not happy, I move. I just move away. And the way over here, Mary and I was talking about how can I, when I put somebody in deputy, or it doesn't make me feel good. Like if I see some defects on somebody, and if I tell them, it doesn't make me feel good. Now I just accept the person the way it is. And because it doesn't work anyway, if I tell them I'm in trouble, I get in trouble, they get upset and all that. So today I'm learning how to just accept the people around me the way they are. And it's been working, and I'm very grateful, because whatever I'm doing it with my heart. And even my customers at work, they keep saying, I love being here. I love coming to this store, because if I go, I'm not going to mention the city they go in, it's a mess. It's always this, they start complaining about that other store. And I say, well, right here, right now, you're here, so let's be happy, you know. And even they mentioned that my attitude, it make them come back to me. So I'm so grateful, and with you guys, because you guys, by being here, you're teaching me also to be brave and stand here where I am, because I still get nervous, but not as bad as I used to. So before I used to be afraid of my English that is not perfect, that is this, that is that, and now I don't mind, you know. And hopefully you understand everything I say, and because it makes me feel good by what I'm saying. Again, I'm thinking about sometimes I don't say the right thing, and I used to be blaming myself, hitting myself on the wall or something because I didn't say the way you want me to say it. But I'm learning that right now I'm expressing myself the way I feel, and the way I feel is what it counts. So thank you for being here. And I don't think my time is over, but I think I'm gonna end here. Thank you very much.
You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Would you like to sing with me? You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. Maybe look at your neighbor. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are blessed peace, blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace, God, blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy, God, deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
That was absolutely wonderful and a perfect song for today because we're talking about allowing ourselves to be guided by Spirit. So show me the way, I think is a perfect opening. I mean, that's a way, to me, that's an opening for our prayers, just to say, show me the way, you know. And I think too much of the time that we talk that we want life a certain way. Let me turn it. That I'll just speak for myself. I tend to do things by me. So there's different kinds of consciousness that we talk about, stages of consciousness. There's to me, which is when we feel like the world is done to us and we don't have any choices. By me is more advanced consciousness in that we take responsibility for our lives, and if it's going to be done, it's up to me, and I'm gonna push through and get it done. But the problem is often we're pushing people out of the way to get it done because we consider them obstacles, and we're doing it on our own thinking, our kind of silo thinking. When we allow Spirit to lead the way, we call that through me, to allow. So it is as we allow it, as I allow Spirit to come through me, to guide me, to lead me, to comfort me at times when I'm struggling, to give me a sense of peace when I want to understand something so desperately. And the answers simply aren't there. It's simply a peace that comes over me, knowing that all is well. We often hear the phrase, everything happens for a reason. I think sometimes the reasons are very human reasons why things happen. What I know is there's always reason underneath and behind everything that happens. And that is a divine right order, a divine right action that's happening. And the more conscious of it, the more we allow Spirit to come through us, to be the guide, to be the revelation, to be the peace in us, the more that we're able to create this sense of life that we're talking about. So I've done this series this month on about it. You know, I talk about it being Spirit because we don't have a name or a pronoun for God. We have a name. We have lots of names, but God is not a he or a she, and the best thing is an it or maybe they, maybe the plural pronoun. Genesis in the Bible uses a plural pronoun for they and them. Maybe that works. I'm not sure, but I know it's not a he or she, and so it is as we allow it. It is last week was it is as we are being. It is as we allow it. That means Spirit within us is in our lives to the degree that we are willing to open up and willing to be this presence. Ernest Holmes, our founder, his most famous quote is, "There's a power for good in the universe that is greater than you are, and you can use it." Now, I love that phrase because, yes, there's a power in the universe greater than I am, and I can use it, but I think it's misinterpreted a lot of times because it comes back to that by me kind of consciousness where I'm going to use it. I can do it. I'm going to tap into this power that's greater than me, and I'm going to create things. Rather than, I like to rephrase that quote to say, there's a power greater in the universe that's greater than I am, and I can allow it to use me. That's more of a surrender. For me, that's not, because I tend to do that by me too much of the time. And so this creates an opening for me, for Spirit to come through as I am. And know that Spirit is guiding me, but sometimes I have to remember it. Sometimes I think of this allowing spiritual energy to be like a river, to be like water that can flow through us. You know, water can be dammed up, it can be diverted in different ways, but those who've been affected by floods recently know you can't control water. And we are not controlling spiritual energy through us. We're allowing it to be. We're allowing it to be something magnificent through us, the spiritual magnificence. I've done, when I was in Colorado, I did a lot of whitewater rafting. and it was great fun. I also did some float trips. Now, float trips are so different than whitewater. Float trips are literally like you just get in the boat and you occasionally have to put an oar in to kind of keep in the middle of the river, but mostly you're just sitting back and enjoying the sun and the weather and just floating in it. And that I like that kind. But then whitewater rafting, you think you don't have any effort that you just go with the flow, but actually it requires you to paddle even harder. There's these, we went on the Arkansas River that's in Browns Canyon. It's a very famous place to go rafting in Colorado. And there's things called sinkholes. Now, if you've done any rafting, you know what those are. But they're literally a place where the water's going and then it drops down and there's a hole there. And that's why they call it a sinkhole. But on the other side of that hole is a wall of water between 6 to 10 feet tall. And if you just go into that sinkhole passively, not paddling, you're going to go like this and fall over and everybody's going to get dumped out. So you paddle super hard, super aggressively to get over that wall and allow it. But that's part of spirit too. That spirit, we're moving with that energy. At times in our lives, we're going to have to paddle harder. And at times, it's going to be easier. And still, the idea of spirit with us, through us, opens us up in deeper ways. I remember one time I went on an experienced kayaker. I'm not an experienced kayaker. But we had an inflatable kayak, which was a little nervous, but she knew the river really well. And she was in the front, and I was in the back. The back, if you don't know, kayaks are canoes. They're the paddling. They steer it. So she just kept going right, left, and I kept doing that. And I didn't even know where we were. And at one time, I looked down in the water, and there was this jagged rock and we're in an inflatable kayak, right? And it just missed us by that much, but she guided us around that. That, to me, that's like spirit. Sometimes I don't know the way. Like Dr. King said, take your first step even when you don't know the whole staircase. I can depend on spirit to guide me even if I can't see the whole staircase. I want to know what the staircase is, right? I want control, but I don't need control. Spirit through me is opening me up in this way. And we let spirit be this opening. Ernest Holmes also said that he said L-E-T. He spelled it out just like this in the book I was reading. L-E-T is a big word and an important one. By taking thought, we do not add 1 cubic to reality. We don't add anything. We think our thinking is so powerful. And it is in a way. But the greatest kind of thinking is allowing, but we do let reality to manifest in the things we are doing. It can pass into expression through us only as we consciously allow it to do so. So we L-E-T, we let it be, and it will be so as we allow it to be so. So to paraphrase what Ernest Holmes says, allow what we are seeking to manifest in the things we are doing. Its expression through us will happen only as we're consciously allow it to do so. It's just allowing in this way. Now, what I know about all of this is that that when we can open up to spirit, it can be this peace, it can be this guidance, it can be this sense of adventure and joy. It can be all these things. But what's important about this process of allowing, it is active. Now you can see this frog up here, right? The frog doesn't look very active, does he? Sometimes we think the phrase going with the flow, is that what this is what it is. But really going with the flow like rafting is an active process in what we're doing. That we can open up in this way and allow spirit to creep. I'm going to turn that off because you're just going to get distracted by that picture. Okay, focus back here now. The other day, I I was, and somebody, people have been in my office lately or peeked in there. It's been a mess because it's just had things thrown in there. It's become a storeroom over the holidays and over MLK, and I knew I had to clear it out, so I went in there, and I had to do it by Sunday because I'm going to have a meeting in there after church today. And so I started doing it. I just was so overwhelmed and anxious. I'm going, geez, this is not like a third world problem here. Why am I so obsessed by that? And part of me just wanted to push through it. But instead, I said, okay, I want to do this consciously. I don't want to just throw stuff in somewhere. So I sat down, even though I was short on time, and just asked for guidance, found a peace. And I found that as joy in what I'm doing. I turned on some music, and I had fun with it. And I need to let you know that I found it. I've been looking for it, and I found it. Do you want to see it? This is what I do every year. Some of you know this or not. So here it is. I use this to represent spirit. If you think of the word spirit, the last two letters in it, and sometimes we call God it. It is as we allow it. So I found it in my office. I was missing it, but here it is. And I think that's a valuable thing, just to be in that place. Now, I know, like I said, not a third world problem, cleaning out my office. But for me, it was a good remembering that God in me can be all things, can be that which is unfolding. I don't have to do it myself. Spirit is always with us. It does take a moment sometimes to remember that. Remember how Spirit shows up in our way, that guides us, that brings us peace, that brings us opening. That may seem like a little thing, but God in me, God in you, is what we are seeking. It can bring us to this place of peace and comfort and love and healing and forgiveness. I always say I like to love easily, I like to laugh easily, and I like to forgive easily. But guess what? It's not easy all the time. But Spirit in me is always seeking that healing, that forgiveness, and the recognition that forgiveness is not forgetting or not considering whether the person deserved it or not. It's about me feeling lighter and opening and letting go of that pain. Of finding a new way to do something that I didn't know I could do. When I was I was a high school counselor for 10 years and a teacher before that. And we did a program called Second Wind. I helped start this program. And it was we had a number of suicides in the high school I was in. It was a contagion, so to speak. And it was hard. It was really hard as counselors to try and reverse that. So a couple of parents came to me, and they were runners. And they talked about how when they were running, it would be difficult at first, but they would find their second wind. And suddenly the running became easy. It became a pattern. And they wanted to started a fundraiser, like a run, that would benefit kids so they could get free counseling and so they could find their second wind. And I so resonated with that. We did the first one and we raised, a couple $1,000s. And it just built up every year we did it. And now it's raising millions of dollars. And kids all over Colorado get free counseling, the ones that need it. And it was really an amazing thing. But I was inspired by this movement, the Second Wind Fund. And it's very similar to Teen Connect, if you know what Teen Connect is here in Napa. But the word second wind, because to me, Spirit is the breath that breathes in me and gives me a second wind when I need it, when I think I can't go on anymore. I mean, sometimes I'll just push through, but that's not the way I want to live my life. I want to live life consciously and mindfully aware of others. And so it is this second wind in this way that opens us up, that allows us to be present, to be mindful, to connect in that way. And sometimes we need to, this guidance can be just to align in the right direction, maybe just like a raft and easygoing, just a gentle oar paddle will bring us into the right direction. Other times it's more work. Other times it's allowing Spirit to lead us in this way. Esther Hicks, if you know who she is, she's a spiritual teacher and a channel. And she says this: applying the law of allowing is truly where your personal power lies. The art of allowing is the conscious, gentle guiding of our thoughts in the general directions of the things we desire. So we can be conscious of this, alive in this Spirit, that is this healing in us, this life that is abundant in us. And the second point I have today is to follow the vision of Spirit, not necessarily the visualization. The difference for me of visualization is what my thought about how I want it to come forth. And that opens me up to a degree when I'm trying to create a certain experience in my life, closer connections, greater understanding of something. But even greater is when I allow Spirit to lead me in what the highest and best is for me, and I allow Spirit to unfold in me what that might be. And sometimes it's in sometimes I hear it auditorily, sometimes it's a vision, something I see, but most often it's an experience. I'm in my quiet time, it gives me an experience of what this close connection with Spirit is, and then I seek to find that in other ways, as the song that Astra sang, the state of grace. Show me the way in this state of grace. So to follow this vision, to follow this understanding. And what we need to remember in all of this is, going back to what Dr. King talked about, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about, he talked about the difference between passive resistance and nonviolent resistance. And passive resistance is more coercive and manipulative, trying to get people to do what you want them to do in a kind of passive aggressive way, versus nonviolence is having clarity about what is okay and what is not. And in this teaching, you usually hear about affirmative prayer. We talk about that we are affirming that which we are seeking. But there's also something called argumentative prayer, or Unity calls it denial. And that's denying that certain things exist, certain ways are. Emily Cady, who's one of the New Thought writers, Unity uses her writing more than we do. But she says this: there is no absence of life, substance, or intelligence anywhere. So a clarity about the Spirit is always there, but instead of affirming that to start with, sometimes you need to deny what it's not. That sometimes we need to deny that a substance, alcohol or drugs, has power over us. In recovery movement, that's a common thing. Or deny that I am alone, that I'm not able to do something, because Spirit in me is that power and that love and that creativity. So that they're denying that there's separations and differences, because we are all one. So it starts with a denial and goes to an affirmation that we have. What I also know is Ernest Holmes, in his Declaration of Principles, says we believe that the kingdom of heaven is within every person, and we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. So that we allow the greater truth to come through us, and we don't accept certain norms in society just because other people believe it, other people think it's so, and allow it. So my final point today is allow Spirit to be the power within us, within you. Sometimes if we are doing the by me too much, our willpower, because that's what we're doing it by, our individual will gets depleted. And that's when we can be less intentional. We might make choices that are not healthy for us. And so when we allow Spirit to be that clarity in us, it moves us through us so that we can have greater love, greater knowing, greater health, greater joy, because we're not depending on our individual body. I know when I am doing too much myself, I feel an exhaustion. I often feel tired, but it's a tired of, I've done some work, I've done that, but exhaustion is deeper in the bones, and that's when I'm doing too much individually, and I need to give it up and allow Spirit. I like what Louise Hay, the spiritual teacher, said, that I allow the healing power in my body to manifest perfect health. So she's demonstrating this idea that when we allow the healing power in our body, that it brings this healing energy forth. She also says the more you connect to the power within you, the more you can be free in all areas of your life. So just allowing Spirit. And it doesn't mean you have to stop all your life, but just take a moment to breathe and bring in that second wind into your body. I love the story from Brené Brown, the spiritual teacher who talks about vulnerability so much and believes that this vulnerability and open-heartedness brings greater happiness to it. But it didn't come easy to her because she is more of a left-brain logical person. And when she wrote her first book and it was starting to gain traction, Oprah Winfrey decided to invite her on to Super Soul Sunday. Now, this is before Brené Brown was anything, hardly anything. She was becoming a best-selling author, but wasn't yet. So she was really nervous, Brené was, to go on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. And she knew that if she was going to be talking about vulnerability, to be scared and anxious and fearful would be out of integrity. So she decided to do something. She decided to give herself permission. So she took out a piece of paper and she wrote on it, permission to be excited, have fun, and be goofy. And she stuck it in her pocket, and she went on there, and she was able to do that because she had given herself permission not to be so concerned about what she was going to say or say the wrong things, that it gave her this excitement, this fun, this joy. And it came off in the show too, because she was less concerned about that. She was willing just to be this goofiness. So what I'd like you to do, so I'm going to have Mary come up here, Mary Ellen come up, and what I've got for you in these little cans that she's passing out are pieces of paper. So Jim, if you could start there, and Lori start on the other side, and just pass those around. And if you need a pen, that's great also. We could even divide up those sheets and pass them around if we want to. These are just scraps of paper we have here. And what I'd like you to think about, what you're going to write on this paper, is permission. Give yourself permission, or something that you want to allow yourself to make sure you're doing. So permission to laugh easier, to be more loving, permission to be goofy, to be open, to be vulnerable, permission to pay attention more to others around you, permission to be considerate, to be more loving, more compassionate. So what do you want to give yourself permission for? What do you want Spirit to be through you, to be more powerful, to be more confident, to have more clarity? Just take a minute to write that down, and then put it in your pocket or your purse or wherever you want to put it, that. And I'm going to have Astra come up and go ahead and start a song while you're finishing that up, and then I will we'll complete the process in just a minute.
That's going to be too low. You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited, and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are. You will remember the truth of what you are. You are a vision, a picture perfect frequency of love. You are made of stardust from above. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as your doubt. It's only fear that keeps you out of the now. You will surrender to loving what you are. For what is brighter or lighter than the surface of your soul? You are spirit coming forth. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as your doubt. Don't let your fear keep you out of your now. You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited, and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are.
Beautiful. So I'm just curious if anybody wants to share what they're going to be allowing themselves, gave themselves permission to do. Shauna.
Be authentic.
To be authentic. Anybody else? Yes.
More generous.
More generous. To fail. Wow. That's a big one, huh? I'm just thinking about that. That's good. That's powerful. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Is somebody else? Yes, Jim.
To be more forgiving.
More forgiving. Mm-hmm. Powerful. That's a big intention. Yeah. Amy. Rest and have. Yeah. Beautiful.
I second that. Rest, fun, and feel free.
Rest, fun, and feel free. So, you got one more here? A more patient, fun mom. That's beautiful. So these are just ideas to kind of, and you can do this with anything, you know. You just need a reminder of yourself. You can Put it underneath your pillow at night to dream of how that's going to show up for you. Put it in your pocket, put it in your purse, put it on a Post-it note, slap it on your mirror or something, you know. What I do know right now as we go into prayer, I know the Spirit is with you. For Spirit is all there is. Spirit is the reason and the good behind all things, even if we cannot see it. It is there and always there. So as we move into the truth of who I am, who we are, we know the Spirit moves in and through us in powerful ways that creates, brings peace and joy and love and patience, forgiveness. And in this safety, we can fail, we can fall down, and we can get back up, for we know the Spirit is always there. That is the forgiveness, that is the presence in us. And we know that it is the good behind all things. And for this we're so, so grateful for today and always. And so it is. So now's the time we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. If we could have our ushers come forward. One thing I was going to let you know, some of you give electronically. There's many ways to give, and we appreciate all those ways that you give. But some do it online, and yet you might want to participate in the activity of putting something in the basket. So we have these plastic things here. And these plastics basically represent what you've given online. And so it's a process by which you can consciously give into the basket in this way. And you can hold it up to your heart too when we do the blessing. So there are many ways to give, and we appreciate all those. We appreciate your support of our vision and mission. So if you will take that which you are giving today, whether it be of heart or of financial giving, to your heart, and affirm this blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
All right, I want you to sing after me. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. All together, here we go. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. Very nice.
So what I know is all that you've given today of love, of contribution, that it is blessed and multiplied and comes back to you tenfold. And so it is. If this is your first time here, we'd like to honor you and welcome you If you're willing to raise your hand or acknowledge it online, we appreciate that. Raise your hand, anybody here for the first time? Over to your left there. We always appreciate having new people and know that you're welcome to join us for coffee and snacks out in the community, in the courtyard, especially. So nice out today, huh? It's nice. We don't you appreciate the good weather now more than ever? We'll accept more rain too, though. We're ready to get back to that probably at some point, but for now we'll enjoy the sun in what we have. So we have a blessing for all new people, and whether online or here, and we simply say, let me see if I can get the slide up here. We bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. You're welcome to stay after the service for prayers with the practitioners. If our practitioners could come forth. Martha, you want to come up here, and Imelda's coming up. So just stay after the service, let people leave, and also if you are going conversing, move it outside basically so that we can have this as a sacred place for prayers. And we also have prayers if you fill out prayer requests either online or in the lobby, and the practitioners and I consider it a privilege and an honor to pray for you to know the truth of who you are. And let's all stand for the congregational affirmation then. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by Spirit. I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now our closing song.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now. And so it is.
49ers, right?